think we're rolling. Hi, my name is Todd Slayton, and this is my testimony for November 2015. Today's date is November 4th, 2015, and today is Wednesday. Okay, last month on Thursday, a week ago, alright, well, let's just back up before that. For 3 days, I prayed and mourned and prayed and mourned and couldn't hardly move. And he showed me what I needed to do in him. And he didn't tell me he was going to transform me. And this is the most beautiful part. And he told me, he says, this is what I want you to do to be close to me. He says, I want you to fast. I want you to pray and anoint yourself with oil when you pray. He says, I want you to pray for anyone at any time. And that means, as tired as I am, and I have been up all night, and if I look tired, I'm tired. I've been up for a day or two. If anybody messages me and they say you need prayer, I have to get up and pray at any times. He says, I have the gift of laying hands again. And I've always had it. It's just I have it. He says I can use it. He says to lay hands on the sick, depressed, pain, sick, everything. I even did it over the phone and it worked. I don't even have to touch people. Teach. I'm a biblical teacher of the Hebrew truths, the biblical truths. I learned Hebrew, the modern Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew, and the ancient, which is pictograph. The Father's name is actually Yahuah, and the Son's name is Yahusha. And Jesus doesn't mean salvation, but Yahusha does. If you do the research, then you'll find out. What I have in me is not God or Jesus. I have Yahuah and Yahusha living in me with me. Believe it or not, some of you have to do the research. If you're chosen, you will do the research after hearing my testimony. If you research Yahusha, Y-A-H-U-S-H-A, or Google it, it will give you reasons why Jesus is not Jesus. We were lied to. We was also said that we was never to utter the names of Yahuah and Yahusha. Okay? There's nothing in the scripture that says that, nowhere. It was a lie. They said the names are too sacred to utter. That meant we wasn't to pronounce the names. So they gave names like titles. God is not a name. They said use God, a title, Lord, a title, Baal, things like that. Okay, Jesus, I hate to tell you, but when he walked the earth, he was called Yahusha. You know why? There was no letter J on the earth, planet Earth, until 1530. Then it wasn't in the first 4 editions of the King James Version. I have a King James 1611, order one. You'll see his name was spelled, and some of them is I-E-S-O-U-S, I-E-S-U-S, and I-E-S-V-S. None of them names, they started with a Y sound, but J even had a Y sound when it came out. We have been fooled, and you cannot be saved under Jesus. The only way, if you don't never heard the truth, but once you've heard it and you listen to me, I'll see that it has been planted into you. But what I come to do is give a testimony of what's going on in my life. I had a lot of meanness and anger in me, and I would run people out of my life. Now, I completely have been, from Thursday of last week, and today's Wednesday, I was so much in shock when it happened. I was walking around in a daze. I walked to a house, a friend of mine named Jessica, and talking to me on the phone as me pulling up before I got in, she knew the sound of my voice. She knew the look in my eyes, the look on my face. She knew that I was no longer me. The old Todd died last week. He died and the new Todd has risen. It's a complete transformation that I never thought would ever happen. I never thought it could happen. In fact, I thought I was as good as I would ever be. But let me tell you something. When you pray and you seek and you fast, He will show you where He wants you. He will bring you to that place. And I'm here to tell you the testimony because I love all people. And I want all people to see this. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because you're supposed to keep it. Okay, I'm good for right now. I didn't come on here. I'm also under, if you want to watch something, I'm under the Biblical Truths of, I believe it's under the Biblical Truths, Part 1, Part 3. Part 2 got lost. I don't know what happened to it. I've been having problems with software. And but I just want to say in this short testimony that the person I was, and what blew me away was this girl Jessica is a friend of mine, and I used to get mad at her and say things that I couldn't help myself. It was inside of me, a hurt. I had deaths throughout my life, starting with my dad, 1983, dying of a heart attack, and then my girlfriend being murdered, Janice, in 1984. And it's going to be 31 years this month, and I'm still love her. My mom died in 1987, killing herself, drinking of alcohol because my dad died. From there on, another girlfriend named Serena White, she died of hepatitis. Our ex-girlfriend, Catrice Davis, died in a car wreck, fatal. And one more, the one that had my son that doesn't know me because he was adopted out. His name is Todd Jr., and I don't know his last name, but my name is Todd Slayton, and I'm living in Nacogdoches, Texas. And if you see this, Todd Jr., by any chance, I have a picture of you when you were little, and I should have took these out and had this ready. Okay, this is the picture of me and the girl. She was 18 years old. I'm trying to see if I can get it closer. Okay, she was 18 and I was 19. She was killed. It devastated my life. This was a girl when I got married. We adopted. Her name is Destiny. She's now 13. She has brain damage. We adopted her. Her mother did crystal meth through the pregnancy and ruined her brain, and then breastfed her with crystal meth. And her name is Destiny Marie, and she's in the state facility place for kids like her. She can't live alone. And this is me in 1993, and this is Todd Jr., and that's in 1983. And that's the last I've seen of my son, and I'm looking for him because he don't know I exist. And if he does, and this is his mother. She died almost 2 years ago in March. She was murdered, and that's me right there, and that's little Brittany, our first little child, and that was the last picture of them, and that's all I have. And if you give me a minute, I will pause and I will share some stuff with you. If I can pause it. Pause. Back on. Hello? We back on? Okay, I've changed my mind. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can download this as my testimony, and then I'm gonna come back and use another biblical truth. I want to thank everybody for listening, and please leave a comment. And if you have a question, leave a comment and I'll try to answer it. May Yahuah and Yahusha barak you, which means bless. Barak means blessed in Hebrew. Yahusha And the Hebrew name for our Messiah is Yahusha. He was given the Hebrew name when he walked the earth. It was never translated. When you translate it, it's translated to Yahuwah. When you translitigate something, it stays the same. We were tricked into believing that Yahusha was translated or transliterated to Jesus. We were lied. There's no such thing. Do the research. I love y'all. Goodbye.